William Ruto earlier today attended a church function in Nyahururu, Laikipia County. A church function that turned chaotic as youths in the area quickly mobilized themselves and started singing outside the church, "YOTE YAWEZEKANA BILA RUTO." So reject the finance bill is now metamorphosing into "YOTE YAWEZEKANA BILA RUTO." Ruto must go. And that in itself proves it to me that even after this finance bill, the chorus will now be "Ruto must go." Nyahururu youth chant "YOTE YAWEZEKANA Bila Ruto" outside ACK Diocese of Nyahururu. And for those who watched the videos, the security officers were actually even more than the worshippers. Another confirmation that already William Ruto and his team were aware that the Gen Z was going to storm the church's event. So security had to be beefed up. Let's have a look at what Ruto shared out through his social media accounts. William Samoei Ruto, the courage and unity that our youth have exhibited in the management of our country's affairs is encouraging. We will engage them to discuss their concerns and build a better Kenya for everyone. In the company of Deputy President His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, governors, MPs, and MCAs joined the people of Laikipia for a church service and consecration of Bishop Samson Mburu Gachathi, ACK Diocese of Nyahururu. We were blessed by the word of the Lord in 2 Thessalonians 3:16. Now may the Lord of peace himself give you peace at all times and in every way. The Lord will be with all of you. I don't know why William Ruto is still quoting these Bible verses while he's not living up to the dictates of the Bible. I don't know why he keeps on quoting these Bible verses. Personally, I consider that blasphemous. Ruto should stop quoting Bible verses because he's not living up to the dictates of the Bible. I want us to put all this into perspective, considering that in other churches today, the song was the same, "Ruto must go." There were cheers at the Holy Family Basilica in Nairobi after a youth walked to the front of the church in the middle of service to protest against the Finance Bill 2024. In a video seen by the Star, the unidentified youth was carrying the Kenyan flag, stood there and started chanting, "Reject Finance Bill." Soon after, the church joined the chanting and applauding him before he walked back to his seat. A man who was leading the service at the time then asked the congregation to applaud the youth for boldly expressing himself. Let's give him a round of applause for expressing himself. Elsewhere, at the Nairobi chapel, the church leadership thanked and prayed for Kenyan youths for their courage in holding the leadership of the country accountable. He said the youth have ushered the country into a new chapter. So you are seeing that it was not only in Nyahururu, but across the country. Gen Z stormed the churches and they were chanting, "Reject Finance Bill, Ruto must go." I want us to dig deep into all this for Kenyans to understand what this means politically. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Let's proceed. Ruto is saying that he's going to engage the youths. So the big question is over what? The youths have spoken very clearly that they don't want the Finance Bill 2024 because of the overtaxations in that bill. The youths are also complaining about corruption and about wastage in Ruto's government. Besides that, the youths are also generally complaining about Ruto's misrule. So there is nothing William Ruto should discuss with the youths. All he has to do is to actually solve what the youths are complaining against. They are complaining against the finance bill, against corruption, against the wastages in government. Generally, they are complaining against Ruto's misrule. That's all the youths are complaining about. No need of meeting the youths for a talk. And then again, I'm seeing a William Ruto who is being hypocritical here when he says that the youth's bravery is actually encouraging. I'm seeing a William Ruto who is pretending here. If it was encouraging, then William Ruto's government could have not been arresting these youths and even killing some of them. William Ruto does not want that bravery by the youths. He hates it. He should not pretend that he loves it. He hates it. And this also is exposing Ruto as a dictator, somebody who is still playing the old politics of suppressing people's opinions and voices. Ruto still lives in the past where Kenyans were not allowed to air their opinions. That's exactly what is happening here. And also to the church leaders, I believe that this is the time to lock these politicians out of the church pulpits. They should not be given the podium to use the church pulpit to spew hate and to brainwash and lie to Kenyans. Because Ruto campaigned using the church pulpits, and this time around, we are suffering because the church leaders allowed him to use the church pulpit to brainwash Kenyans. Going forward, that should not be allowed. And any church leader who encourages politicians to use the church pulpit to spew hate and to lie to Kenyans, that church leader should also be dealt with. Because it's very clear some of these church leaders are no longer serving God, but they are serving the interest of men, those in government. I think that should also not be allowed. So if you look at the Gen Z's plans and course of action, they are actually fulfilling their 7 days of rage. Already on Friday, they did actualize what they promised. Yesterday, Saturday, all the nightclubs, posts, and chants of Ruto must go were heard across the country. That's going to be our next analysis. And then their third course of action was to deplatform politicians in church. And that has been felt across the country. Let me leave it there for now, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe in order not to miss our next analysis. And to those watching us outside Kenya, for the first time, drop a comment, let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. If possible, subscribe, give the video a like. The struggle continues. On Tuesday, there will be massive demonstrations across the country by the Gen Z. We must all support the Gen Z in any way we can. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Kenya.